your broker or your financial planner, because one time I had a client show up with $15,000 of cash for her to fund her IRAs, and I said, I can't take it. She's like, why not? I said, we're not a bank. So let's transition now.
Well, we're transitioning. When you talk about cash, I have the perfect guest for you. So Edward Beach is joining us today on It's Your Money. And Edward has a business called Checks with the number 2 to Cash, Checks to Cash. And he operates 5 locations, all in New Jersey. Fascinating time coming in with Ed, spending time learning about the business and the industry. So Ed, welcome to It's Your Money with Joanne and Martin.
Joanne, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Have you.
I mean, viewers may not be familiar with what a check cashing business does. So kind of explain to us, what do you do differently than a traditional bank?
In a bubble, we're almost like a bank. We do not accept money. We do not do deposits. We do not do loans.
Okay.
We cash checks. So usually if you go to a bank, if you don't have enough money in that account, they will not cash it. They will hold your check or your money until that check clears. I, for a small fee, and we'll get into the fees a little bit later, will cash the check and give you your money today. And you're usually in and out of my store within 3 minutes. That's what our goal is.
Yeah. So if you're an existing customer, probably 3 minutes. If
would
you're
be-
brandy new, well, then you got to do a little work.
Brandy new, it's 5 minutes. It doesn't take long to set you up. Maybe a couple questions and stuff like that.
So who is really like your typical customer? I know we talked briefly about this. Talk to us about who your typical customer is.
It's the same as a bank. Walmart people that work at Walmart, Lowe's, Pathmark, all the regular places will come in and cash their check.
Their paychecks.
Their paychecks,
Okay.
of course. And we have a unique thing that a lot of places aren't allowed to do, but we can do. We can cash checks made payable to your business. So if you own a business, we can cash the checks that people give you for your business.
I see.
Of course, there's paperwork to be involved and stuff like that, but we can cash checks. And our range of checks, we cash from $1 all the way up to $500,000.
But why do they choose the check cashing shop like yours, let's say, versus a bank? Why?
First of all, it takes a little longer in a bank. Banks are a little short-handed with help. It takes a little longer because, again, I was telling you before that if you do not have an account with them and you do not have enough money, say you come in with a check with $1,000, you got $300 in your account.
Okay.
They will not give you the rest of the money until that check clears. They're not going to get stuck. Me, I will cash it. We will give you your full amount due minus our fee.
Okay. Sometimes I've heard that there's a stigma around a check cashing business. What are some of the common misconceptions that people have?
Dirty backroom deals, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Doesn't sound it.
It's a misconception, believe me. My stores are beautiful. They're well lit. The people that have been working for me have been there for at least 8 years. We know your name, first and last name, as you know our first.
So you know your customers.
We know our customers.
Right.
KYC. You know our customers.
You know, talking about the industry a second, I'm going to use a term called unbanked or underbanked. Why do you think millions of people feel that way? That you're like underbanked or debanked? Why is there something about banks that they're just?
You know, back in the '90s, your bank used to know you, just like I'm trying to. My thing is where they knew your name and everything. Banks are not like that anymore. People don't last in banks, so you don't get to know the person that's behind the counter. They used to be your friendly person. They know us. They come in. They trust us. Not only do we cash checks, though. We pay your bills. We could pay any bill, Verizon, your electric bill, your gas bill, and also we do prepaid cards where you can put money on your cards to make payments for.
So you help people manage their day-to-day finances.
It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah. Let me ask you, are you seeing growth in this space? Do you have any competitors? What's the demand?
Well, of course, other people in the check cashing business are competitors, but and I was telling Martin today that in the industry, when I first got into the industry in 1996, we had close to 800 check cashing stores in New Jersey. Now we've got about half of that, and the reason for that is people are getting older, they're getting out of the businesses, and there's a lot of check cashing in the same area. So degrowth, stuff like that. And a lot of people aren't getting checks anymore. They're getting direct deposit, they're getting bank
so that
cards.
could
So it's
affect it.
hurting the business a little bit. What's the growth is, I'm able to cash business checks. Again, I'll get back to that, where a person that has a business can cash checks made payable to their business. They get the money right away, and they get to pay suppliers faster, their help faster, everything. They don't have to wait for that check to clear.
Okay, got
You
it.
know, Ed, when we were just, having a brief discussion before the show, you were telling me that you opened, you have 5 locations, okay? Let's just tell our audience what they are, what towns they are, and why you chose those locations.
My first location that I opened when I was on my own is in Woodbridge, 120 Amboy Avenue in Woodbridge. That was an existing store that a gentleman was selling. And at the time, me and my partner split up. I was with another gentleman, and I decided to go out on my own. So I bought that store.
Right.
Within the same year, I opened another store in Lakehurst. That's on Route 70, 413 Route 70. And that was a brand new store that the first time I've ever opened a brand new store. Took a little time. Within a year later, 2 years later, I opened the one in Wall Township, 1902 Route 35 on 35 in Wall. And the fourth one, actually, I had one that was down in Lacey Township. It didn't work out so good. And then we opened one in Perth Amboy.
But the reason it didn't work out so good, you told me, was that their landlord kept raising your rates.
He kept on raising the
Not
rate.
because the
He would-
business
No,
wasn't
the
working.
business itself was fine.
That's a
The
good point.
landlord raised the rate so hard, it just couldn't be absorbed.
So let me
And
go.
then Tom's River, I just want to mention that he
Okay.
has one there too.
So let me go with the elephant in the room. What are the fees and how are they structured?
Okay, so if you have a check that's $2,500 or under, the rate is 2.21%. If you have a check that's over $2,500, which is $2,501, it's 3%, up to 3%. Okay, so I could charge a little bit less, but that's the maximums I'm allowed to charge.
Okay.
Now, welfare checks or TANF checks, they call it, TANF checks are 1%.
But a lot of people might not realize this, but you're governed by the banking industry. So it's not like these rates just came out of the sky.
No, 1951 is when they started regulations of the check cashing stores. 1993, 94, they got really strict on the rates and what can happen in the industry, and they set the rates. And I've been in the business 30 years. They've only raised the rates twice.
Hold that thought, Ed. Hold that thought. We got to take a break, pay some bills. We'll be back with Ed Beach on It's Your Money with Joanne and Martin.
I love that we both got an awesome network and save money doing it.
I know, $25. I love that it's guaranteed for 3 years.
Hey, we're sitting on a sign here.
Switch and get Welcome Unlimited for $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years. Verizon.
No signal. I don't have home internet.
Oh, that's a red flag.
Find the bars.
Your mom looks a lot like me.
Yeah, couple of hotties.
Thank you.
Ah, man. There's dead spots all over this place.
Really are. Oh, wow.
Nothing. Are you getting a good signal?
No, I'm not.
It's time for real home internet. Get it on the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity.
I love that we both got an awesome network and save money doing it.
I know, $25. I love that it's guaranteed for 3 years.
Hey, we're sitting on a...
Welcome back to It's Your Money. We have Edward Beach here from Checks to Cash, and we're talking about this very interesting field, and we were on the topic of fees. So let's finish that conversation with fees and how they compare to banks that charge service fees and monthly fees.
So we charge our fee up front. If somebody comes in, the fees are charged up front, and you get the net of the check. And I just want to say, every time you walk in, you do get a receipt for everything that shows you the amount of the check, what the fee is, and what your net is. Okay, banks are backloaded. They get you at the end of the month. So no matter whether you're getting hit in the front of the month, the middle of the month, you're getting a fee from a bank. Even banks right now, PNC, from what I understand, is charging a fee. If you're not one of their customers, you do not have an account there, they're charging up to 4.5% of that check. So they're getting more money than I get. So I mean, and they're regulated just like I am through the Department of Banking. So they're starting to realize that there's a stigma with the check cashing part of it.
So interesting. Well, listen, you're performing a service, and if somebody doesn't have the assets in the bank and needs ready cash, for whatever the reason is, it could be an emergency for all we know, you're able to service that person, right? So
100%. And again, like I said, the regular person that works at Walmart or one of these smaller places, Applebee's or something like that, they're young kids. Some of them don't know anything about banks. They're just getting their first paycheck. They come in.
Right.
They want their money. They worked hard all week. They want their money right now. They do not want to wait 2 days, 5 days for their money.
interesting.
All right, let's talk about business operation and your risk. How do you prevent fraud, and what are those some common risks that you take on, like in the check
Good
cashing
point. Yep,
business?
good question.
Fraud, bad checks, compliance.
There's a stigma that we have that we have a program. I'll say a program that's involved that all our employees have to go through a training period and stuff like that. We call the makers on the checks. We get to know our customer. Again, like they might come in and cash a check from Walmart or any of these places. They're cashing the same check every single week. The person that comes in for the first time, we're a little bit more leery of, because there are a lot of frauds out there. The biggest fraud that I see out there right now is that a person will get this secret shopper check in the mail through FedEx and something like that. $25,000, $3,000, $4,000, and they'll come right in to cash it.
And you won't.
And of course we don't. We know right off the bat that that's a fake check.
Right.
And we tell them, people, don't cash it, don't put it in your bank. And they tell you right in the envelope, go to a check cashing store, and you know what, keep $2,500 right now. We might have sent you $3,000, send the $500 back to us. And then they want them to send the money back to them. It's the biggest fraud going right now.
Wow.
Ed, is there a statistic or percentage of failed checks? Something that slips through the cracks? Because like you say, you know your customer, all of that, you get to know your customer. Is there a percentage on an annual basis that just, it's a check gone bad?
All right, there's two. I'm going to give you the industry.
Okay.
The industry is about 3 to 4%.
Okay.
Okay. My stores, less than 1% of uncollected checks.
Interesting.
I get checks back that we could redeposit into the banks, but we're talking about uncollected.
Right.
Okay, so do you use special technology? I mean, you can't be in all these stores at once. So how do you prevent that?
Okay, so
And why is your number so low?
my number's so low because we're very good at collecting the checks. That's number one. And I would say 90% of the checks that we get back are redeposited. So that 10% thing is collection agencies. Sometimes we have to use very frequent, and most of the people that cash their checks that come in and the check comes back, they'll pay me back the check and go after the maker and say, okay, you gave me a bad check. We have a lot of good clients.
So it's interesting. I think you were sharing with me a business can pay out their employees on a Friday, all right? But if the person who's in charge of the money doesn't move it from the savings element of their business to the checking element on time, well, then you could have 6 bad checks.
Okay.
Right.
So just today, we'll use today's example.
Okay.
4 checks came back from Walmart. That's unheard of. Never
Right.
heard of it before. But they said that the money was not moved over in time, and these checks come in. They take care of it right away.
Right.
I'll give you another example. The state of New Jersey.
Right.
Maybe a year ago, I got about 6 checks back from the state of New Jersey. Again, the same thing. The money was not moved over in time. They call them swipe accounts. So, it happens.
Stuff happens.
Another thing I just want to say in this business, 10 years ago, 12 years, you used to be able to write a check and it wouldn't clear your account for 4 to 5 business days. Now, it's clearing overnight with the technology. We get your check, we send it out electronically to our bank, we have that money today.
Amazing.
So
really.
that's
It's
the
amazing.
technology.
They know if that check's good today.
So let's stay on the subject of technology with mobile apps and banking apps. Is that hurting you? Is it helping you, this
All right,
technology?
of course it hurts. Of
Right.
course. Everybody click, click. Now, the bad thing about mobile deposits, you're not getting that money right away.
Right.
2 to 5 days it goes to account. Everybody
true.
thinks click, click, and I have my money within 30 seconds. I'm going to give you, we have so many people coming in with checks that they've already mobile deposited to their banks and they think they didn't get the money, so they'll cash the check. We get the check back, and the bank, my bank gets it back from the first bank. Say they use Bank of America. My bank will go after Bank of America and grab the money back. It's whoever has the paper item in their hand. That's who gets
I
paid.
see. Let's talk about, it's like some of the economic trends that are out there. How about when there's like times of uncertainty, inflation, things like that? Does that affect your business?
Believe it or not, inflation increases it for us because the checks get bigger. The average check 10 years ago, we'll just say was $500.
Okay.
The average check today, $850.
Right. So your fee on top of the...
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We talked about fraud, but are there any other trends consumers should be aware of that you can help them understand?
You don't get something for nothing.
Right.
Everything that you get, internet is a great tool, but it's also a very hurtful tool to everybody. Everybody thinks that anything that they get online is gospel. It isn't. You got to know the internet. You got to know who you're dealing with. You have to stay away from people that you don't know. Okay.
Absolutely. Smart.
Ed, I wanted to ask you, I know you have the 5 locations. Have you given any thought to franchising? I know like you're not 20 years old anymore, but is that something you've thought about?
It's always in the back of your head. If I was 30 years younger, I might be thinking about it more than I am now. I'm getting ready to retire. My son's going to be taking over pretty soon.
Yeah.
And with that thought, bigger is not also the best thing.
Right.
Smaller, compact, I think is a little bit better. Keep an eye on stuff. And people nowadays, you have to, the kind of business that I'm in, the kind of money that might be in the store, you got to be very careful who you hire and who you train.
Do you have security guards at your place?
I do not, but I have a lot of cameras.
Okay.
And again, the difference between check cashing and a bank. A bank, you walk in, you're shaking hands with everybody. You can't do that in my store. We have glass, we have metal, we have everything involved with it, and it's going to be very hard for any problems to be.
Is the glass and metal and cameras, all that, because you have to keep ample money supply in your shop? It's not because somebody walks in with a check, obviously, but if you have to keep money on hand to pay people out.
There's 2 reasons.
Go ahead.
It's 2 reasons. We want to make sure that when people walk in, they feel not afraid.
Safer.
Oh, safer, a lot safer. And another reason is my insurance goes down 30% if you have these things.
I see.
Because of crime.
Deterrence.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, very interesting.
Well, it's a fascinating business.
There's a lot of misconception, as
Yeah.
we talked about in the beginning. I just want everybody to understand that We are very friendly. We will help you in any way we can. We'll tell you if we can cash it. We'll tell you if we can't cash it. I mean, we're there to help everybody.
If you were going to advise somebody, whether they are coming out of college or no college education post high school, about getting involved in this industry, what would you tell them? Is it a good industry to be in? Is it a big profitable industry?
It used to be a long time ago, but with the regulations right now, I'm going to say deterrent away from it, because you need a lot of money. Okay, you got to have a lot of money. If you've never done this, it's going to take you a long time to understand the fraud that's going on in the business.
Okay.
And it takes a long time for the business to get up and running.
So what type of advice would you give to someone who's currently using your services, but they want to improve their financial situation? Call me and Martin.
Do that.
Out there.
Buy lottery
Saving money.
tickets?
I wish when I was younger,
Yeah.
I wish when I was younger, and I tell my son this all the time, save as much money as you can.
Yeah.
Don't live to your means, live under your means.
Absolutely.
I wish I would have done that when I was younger. I wouldn't be working right now, of course. But yes, save as much money as you can.
And cash is always in. It's the name of the game.
Of course.
You need to have that cash.
I got to ask you this question. You said there was sort of a pivot or a moment where your industry, you felt, or your business has changed, whereas the individual was the one coming in with checks maybe early on. You found that the pivot was businesses were coming in. So you're trying to market more to business owners, and you're seeing business checks versus just an individual, getting a check from a relative or something like that.
In the mid-1990s, my customer base was individual checks or people that just go to work and bring in paychecks, probably 75 to 85%.
Okay.
Okay, now it's 55% business checks, 45% work checks.
Okay. And do you find that to be more profitable because the work checks are bigger?
Only because they're bigger. I mean, that's the only reason. We love all people. We don't care who brings in the checks.
And one other thing, because we also want to let people know where to reach you. One other thing is you located a store in some wealthier areas versus, say, something of urban Blythe. Is there a reason? Is it because the wealthier people are better customers? I mean, I don't know.
No. The misconception of this, again, with the check cashing industry, is only undocumented aliens and stuff like that come in and cash the check. That's not it. Right. We have regular people that come in. It doesn't matter if they're in wealthy areas, small areas. It doesn't matter. I picked where I feel that I'm going to do better at. And I've been in the business for a long time, 30 years, so I get to pick.
Do you require IDs?
Huh?
Do you require IDs?
Oh, yeah. We have to acquire IDs.
Real quick, Ed, if you could, give our audience a phone number where they can reach you if they have questions.
I'll give you my website. How about that?
Website.
Checks, CHECKS, with a dash, the number 2, with a dash, cash, CASH.com.
So checks2cash.com.
Correct.
And you don't have an old-fashioned landline they could call? Just go to the website.
732-602-1119.
Well, listen,
That's
Ed,
easy.
you did a great job here
Thank
today.
you.
took all of our firepower, right? All the bullets we threw at him.
God, it was great to
He
meet you.
answered them
He knows
all.
his business.
Great job.
Yeah, thank
Great
you so
job.
much.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
to
job.
meet you. Oh,
hey,
okay.
and listen, welcome back to It's Your Money, and we'll see you next time with another great show.
Thank you.